2 o'clock. Ha! We did it.
On time.
1,
Uh-oh.
2,
One of the Eagles
3,
has landed. The children are trying to take a
4.
nap. Good luck, babe. I don't know if you're watching. What's up, everybody? The Dream Show live. 2 o'clock on the dot, son. What's up? Getting good. We're getting good. My buddy Isaac here. The camera Yeti. The producer. Sure. At the Parkway Automotive Studios. Representing the hardest today. Been a wild week since we were here last week. It felt like, I think Wednesday was the second day I was back pretty much from Costa Rica. So it was kind of shook up a little bit and all over the place, but we're back now. First, I guess we need to take care of a little bit of business stuff. Mid-South Classic turnover, like you do, happens. We need two guys that weigh 185 pounds or less.
Any level.
That you just got to be 185 by 11 o'clock at the latest, and then you're going to have to compete at about 1 p.m. The buy-in is $100. The winner of the bracket takes home $1,000. It's an 8-person bracket. You got to win 3 matches to win $1,000. So need 2 of those guys, and then a 155 blue belt. One of you guys, like, for sure told me you wanted to get in and fill in if we lost somebody, and we did. I can't find your message, man. I'm sorry. I'm a bad communicator. Hit me back up. Blue belts. Any of you 155 or less blue belts. Yes, we can fill the bracket up. We gotta get these brackets full in order to make it a good show, for our sponsors. Matt Viper. They're gonna give us some dope rash guards for the event. Hopefully they'll be fitted on the competitors, but sometimes things don't fit right, and I'm not going to force anybody to wear something they're not really comfortable wearing and competing in, because sometimes things fit funny. But we're going to have some really dope rash guards. I like the Matt Viper rash guards. I never had any until we did the PGF season, and I really fell in love with their short sleeve one. So we're getting one of those made for us, and I'm really happy to have that. We'll have a few of those left over, so you can hit us up. If you want one, it's a really cool design. Isaac can.
We have a limited in all sizes, but
super limited.
We'll start getting names. We're gonna get a list going, and we're gonna get names down, and that's how it's gonna roll.
Yeah, I don't even know how many there are of each size or whatever, but we only got like 30 total, and we're trying to give away 16 to competitors or something like that. So, and I'm gonna get one. He's gonna get one, and yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Get in there and let us know about that. Definitely sheath underwear also. They're throwing down and hooking us up at this time of the year. You guys know. If you don't know, now you know. You need to get some sheath underwear.
It's balmy out there.
It's nice. It gives you a little bit of breathing room. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check them out at sheathunderwear.com. Mid-South saves 20. That'll get you 20% off. And that'll let them know that you came from us. And then by helping, us and them, and you'll be helping yourself quite actually. With some really cool and comfortable underwear. So, yeah, we just got to fill that bracket out, man. Make it cool. I'm excited for it. The 185s has a couple of guys that are really, really tough in there. I'm excited to see, how that bracket will turn out based on the way it is already.
Without dropping any names, could you, maybe tease a little bit of what the people could expect in that 185 bracket?
There is a PGF veteran who's beaten me. And then there's a former Mid-South veteran who's a veteran of multiple submission-only events, and probably, in my opinion, one of the best brown belts in the country in the submission-only game for sure. One of the top guys, probably anywhere, honestly, at brown belt, definitely. That's coming in. So, really strong wrestler that's got some really solid jiu-jitsu, too. There's some guy. Yeah, without saying anything, there's gonna be some throwdowns. But guess what? We are instituting the ability to use the wall a little bit, right? We're not gonna let you just push somebody into the wall and stall them out. We'll do the get down rule there. So we're not gonna be doing any of that stuff. But if you kind of land on the wall, we're just gonna let it go into play, because I'm tired of the action kind of getting stopped and started and kind of making the referee feel awkward. When should you pull? Because I felt the same way when I was reffing it, and guys were getting close to the wall. It's like, oh, work off the wall. And it's like, but that changes the flow of the action
The
a little
whole
bit.
game.
Yeah, you know, and if you fought in a cage before or anything, or if you trained in a room with a wall, you know what that's like. So I don't know. We just want to maximize the experience for the competitors as much as anything. We're still just doing it in-house, so there's no seats available, but you can watch it live on YouTube, right here where you're watching this live or catching the replay of this or whatever. And then the 155 blue belts, to be honest with you, I only know a couple of these guys personally, and so then beyond that, I don't really know anything about anybody else that's coming in too much, but I know there's a couple really good guys from other gyms coming in, and then some local talent that we know is pretty solid that's jumping in that's going to be really looking to make a name for themselves and try to establish herself. So I'm excited for that, and I know that we're going to fill that extra spot for that one with no problem because
There's a lot of eager.
we could have
belts
done
out
a
there.
16.
Like the blue belts
Yeah.
were super eager.
Yeah, we could have done a 16-man 155 blue belt, and so we'll probably just end up going more blues and purples for our shows right now for a little bit anyway, because these black and brown belt dudes they're on to bigger and better things, I guess, in some ways, or then there's some guys. I mean, you know, I didn't say that, but I'm not the one that stays at home and talks about how people should do it either. You know, I come up here and talk about it.
Speaking of which, what's up, Waylo? Waylo's in the chat.
Waylo, am I out here?
Yeah, there's your chat.
Gangsters. So yeah, what else? What else was I had some other thing I was supposed to talk about. Oh, for Costa Rica, for the Dream No-Gi camp, a couple people informed me literally over the weekend through work and other unfortunate circumstances they're not going to be able to come. So we have 2 spaces that are opened up for the camp, literally just the 2. So let me know. I did 2 and I held up 3 fingers, but I mean 2 with just 2 fingers.
Just 2.
Those are going to be like $600 each, just because I think that's what was basically paid for it. So we're just kind of trying to take care of the people if we can and cover the gap a little bit.
Cover the spots.
Yeah. So if you guys want to get in, let me know. If you don't know what that is, there's a little bit of information out there, but it's basically a week in Costa Rica training with me, Lindsey McCatherine, and Kyle Chambers being the lead instructors, but some other dope black belts from other places are going to be there training and hanging out in other colors of belts because it really won't matter. Going to be there training, and it's at an amazing location, Hotel Costa Verde.
We have some great content coming out of that for this channel.
Yeah, the Dream Show season 2 basically is going to be set off of the lead up to and the whatever this whole thing is going to end up being, man. It's going to be nuts, I think, to see it play back out on video. Because having been there, obviously, it looks like it looks in person. And then the house that we're going to be staying in, and then the training location, they're both just like amazing spots for so many different cool types of shooting, things. So we're going to try to come at you with some roundtable kind of discussions, maybe have a bunch of little like mini training things, maybe, because there's just going to be some people that are cool. I would like to get time to sit down and pick several people's brains while we're there, and hopefully we can do that.
Lots of great minds.
Dude, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna there'll be a ton of the time that I won't want to be the one leading the conversation. I would like to sit and listen to other people
Be the student.
say what they say. Yes, definitely. Which is great, because it was gonna be, at first I was gonna teach all 4 or 5 days of it myself to the 10 or 12 people that were coming. But then all of a sudden we just said, go all out and do it bigly. So, yeah, 2 people. I know a few people have messaged me, and I told you no, and I wasn't lying. This isn't like a scam or whatever. I'm not trying to sell the spots for $1,000 a piece or something crazy right now. It's not like a deal like that. But just let me know. There's 2 of them. Somebody's going to get them. Musgrove Trial Firm, thank you for hooking us up there and everywhere right now. See, I think I'm getting good at this a little bit, trying to think about
Shot firing them.
If you get in an accident here in the state of Georgia, definitely hit up the Musgrove Trial Firm, 678-226-1994.
Shing.
Trial attorneys. They'll make sure you're taken care of if you get in an accident. So call your buddy. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, beyond that, interesting week for jiu-jitsu nerds.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an opinion which is very cool and fun. You know, that's the internet for you. And I think typically for myself, I stay out of the real like hot button kind of stuff and don't put an opinion out there that's, I don't know, because it doesn't really matter that much to me about other people's situations for me to really sound off in a real aggressive way about a lot of stuff. But definitely with the situation from over the weekend with Gio and Mikey Musamichi, however you want to say, and no disrespect to his last name, I really don't know. That's why I said it two ways.
That's a lot of consonants.
So that whole thing is a bunch of layers of stuff, and I'm not going to pretend to know everything that Gio was thinking.
For the people that don't know what happened, just give them the cliff notes of what happened.
So there was a really, really well-matched, well, there's a card, the Road to ADCC was this weekend, where a lot of the best grapplers in the world were showing up to compete against each other to try to lead into the ADCC event coming up, to try to keep it hype. And they want to make it the biggest, like event for grappling ever. So they're trying to use these events to feed into it. And a bunch of other great matches were on there. But specifically with Gio and Mikey, I think this was Gio is just now starting to get to be where people are calling him the number one grappler in the weight class.
Yeah.
He's always been right around the top 10, top 15, whatever for a while. Then he broke into about the top 5 and kind of stayed there. And everybody, again, have your opinions on who wins and loses stuff, but he's been out there battling everybody in the divisions trying to get the wins, trying to get establish himself as the best in the world. So he finally did that, I guess, this year. He finally got over one of the Meow guys, I think, and that was, what he
kind of his ticket.
It's been the kryptonite for him a little bit. And especially in these events where points are involved. And then again, no excuses, just that Gio wasn't really saying anything bad at the end of the match when he said that he was trying to come on top, and that's the reason he lost. Because he did. They were just sitting in 50-50 or playing the leg stuff butt to butt for so long. And then finally he got up to get on top to try to get the action going. And so then he got scored on. Well, the same thing probably would have happened if Mikey would have engaged on top first, which is why he didn't do it, And so that's the same thing that's happened a bunch of times to Gio throughout the years competing. He's went after it. He's gone after guys. There's that really famous, at least to me, moment against the guys from, now I said it's really famous. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But where they rolled off the mats into the table, basically.
Oh, and they rolled up underneath the table.
Yeah, and that was that was just a trial super fight. But he ended up losing on points to that match and stuff. So he was really, in his zone trying to be the best in the world at this moment. And then his history as a breakdancer is battling. Like these guys, they go out there and they're ready to throw down. They're going to throw their best stuff, and they're going to, it's not disrespectful, but they don't give you any props or whatever for your stuff while you're out there throwing down. It's a battle. They're not there to be friends.
You have to win.
It's time to win. It's a competition. And this is a very physical competition that they're going into. And if you saw the armbar that Gio got caught in, you see how far he was willing to go to try to win this match. He wasn't going to tap to the armbar unless he was getting broken probably, So, he wanted it bad. And then Mikey, I think, in the moment wanted to be, cool with him, like everybody kind of usually is. Well, Gio wasn't really in that headspace. They don't know each other. And so he's like, we'll get to know each other after the match. We can hang out.
So was there pre-fight there wasn't Connor level. I didn't really know about this controversy till the night of the match.
I don't know, and so this may be something that that's why I don't know, but for sure, they said Gio made fun of him for his one of those fake Portuguese accents
because he was speaking in Portuguese,
but it's broken. Broken kind of, I think,
right,
is what it went, and that's the thing. It's it's one thing to learn the language and speak it appropriately or whatever, but then if you try to speak Spanglish and you're whatever,
it's gonna sound funny.
And if you try, you're not being authentic, maybe then.
Yeah.
And so I don't know for sure if that's what the situation was, but from what I understand, that's what it sounded like. Maybe Gio said something about his Portuguese accent at some point, like the Mackenzie Dern thing that everybody
Right. I was
talks
fixing to
about.
bring that up. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
just
like
just kind of poking a
little
bit.
bit silly.
Yeah. And I think Mikey honestly probably just wanted to be cool with Gio because he's a young kid, and Gio's been one of those guys that's been scrapping at the top of the no-gi world for a while, and he probably was really a fan. And so it hurt his feelings in a really real way when Gio didn't
I
want
wish I had the Eminem song queued up right now.
I'll stand.
Does
I
that
wrote
mean
you
Mikey?
Gio and you still ain't calling. Damn, man. Damn, why'd you make me do that? But no,
parody
and I don't
coming
mean that in a bad
soon.
way. I don't mean that in a bad way, though.
Yeah.
But, like, I've met some of my heroes or whatever, and they've pissed me off, too. And they ended up not being the person I thought they would be when I ran into them in person. You know,
They always say don't meet your heroes.
they say that, and that's the thing. But what Gio did wasn't even that bad at all. He was like, "Hey, we'll talk after the match." And so then the thing is, now Gio's established several times we'll be cool after the match.
Right.
Then Mikey tries to front on him in front of everybody to walk out there and force his hand. Basically, it's truly to make him shake hands or look like a jerk, essentially.
Right.
And so he knew, Gio didn't want to shake hands, or maybe he really is on the spectrum, which is what I've heard. I'm not a doctor. I'm not, anyone to diagnose anyone. So all the people that are telling me that, I hope you have a clinical diagnosis for the young man, or know something that I don't know. Because just knowing somebody that has autism or whatever, it doesn't qualify you to say that man too has it, even though he may be a little awkward.
Right.
Right. Situationally.
That's
and
been
stuff
weird
like
that people automatically jump to that.
And they're trying to defend him by saying that he has a mental disability.
Yeah,
of
that's
some
a
sort.
weird. That's a weird.
And so I don't know. Again, I'm not judging the guy. He's always been cool from what I understood. I've never met him.
I think he met a hero, and then the hero was on Game Face.
He
and
wanted to
didn't-
kill him.
Yeah.
He did. He's not on the way out. In his mind, Gio's not on the way. He's not a stepping stone for this kid.
Yeah.
This was Gio's time it's his time. You know what I mean? He's the best in the world, not this kid. And this kid is probably one of the best in the world, though. That's the thing. You know that if you're a real G and you go out there and throw down, you know who's real and who's not. And so Gio knew this was a really tough match. It was a tough test for him. Yeah. So he wanted to be straight focused on winning and not being buddies with somebody, which we all know some guys that are scared or whatever will come up and try to shake your hand or whatever. It's the same thing as the guy that comes up and tries to tries to bluff you down being a tough guy or stuff like that. They don't, people try to just get into your head in some way or the other. And then maybe he wasn't doing that though, but Gio just wasn't having it.
Yeah.
And then during the match, apparently Gio told him that something he had wasn't going to work.
It was the armbar, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember specifically. And so then that made him mad or whatever. And then after the match, Gio went to shake his hand, and then he threw a fit. Was like, "Do you respect me now?" And he's like, "I always respected him." He's like, "I always respected you." Not
once did I go, "Oh, this guy's absolute garbage."
And so that's the thing. To call somebody low class is one thing.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Low
he
blow.
took some deep shots.
He said that
right
he shouldn't
after
be a
the
black
match.
belt and stuff like that. And so now this is going to lead into my greater message, leading into all that.
Okay.
I have no judgment on Mikey. I have no judgment on Gio in this situation. Mikey felt the way he felt. He's the one that was out there competing. He's the one, versus Gio that, maybe felt like he was slighted in some kind of way. So he has the right. I've been mad at people before too, and people told me I was out of pocket. So whatever. But people who are not in this situation whatsoever sounding off and throwing out larger statements of whatever 10th Planet is, or how 10th Planet is all disrespectful people, or we're all low-class people, or
all
whatever.
Are blank.
Yeah, any of us know any alls or anything. And that's one of the problems in the world right now. Everybody's just trying to throw everybody any one thing into one thing. If one bad apple of anything goes, then everybody's the thing. But then Gio didn't even do anything. This is just a bunch of people who are looking for a reason to say something about us, essentially, in some way. Maybe they're just talking shit online about guys they don't know, but I know Gio. He's my friend. We train together. So, like, you're directly talking shit about one of my friends, somebody that I look up to, that I respect. He was one of the people that was promoting me to black belt. He started the speech for when they were promoting me to my black belt. So, yeah, calling him low class, calling him disrespectful, you don't know that man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know what he's done to get to the position he's at.
And forming that opinion off of a competition.
One time.
One interaction, yeah.
One time. And now everybody wants to talk about and so I made a post on the Facebook about it.
On the faces of books.
Like, because there's people that fake be nice to us, but then I see them throw out these blanket arguments about the whole, you know, how 10th Planet guys are disrespectful or whatever and stuff. And it's like, man, maybe there are some that are very disrespectful. A lot of the guys that I roll with are the most respectful guys that I could, you know, that deal with people day to day. Sure, I'm sure everybody has people that they've disagreed with or burned somewhere along the way and made mistakes in relationships, or one person can stand up. I'm sure there's a handful of people that would probably come out and talk about some shit that I did that was bad. And it'd be like, dang, man, my bad. You know, I may not even realize some of the stuff that I've done that made other people upset. And that's cool. But to blanketly say, you know, I am a 10th Planet black belt, firstly. And like I said, 10th Planet freaks, firstly, honestly, because I trained directly under Boogie and Gio, like, every day. Mostly Boogie, but still, like, the same mindset. It was family. Like, we're, you know, so, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't let anybody sit here and talk about you either.
Right.
Like, if I heard somebody like we'll talk shit about you a little bit. We'll joke about you. We'll talk
right,
crack, you know.
right.
And somebody asked me, when is it disrespectful or whatever, trash talk? I don't trash talk people that I don't like, because then I know I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll let you know that, like, I will let you know if I'm being disrespectful to you.
I'm being
like, I want you to know that. I want you
Yeah.
to know when I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be trying to talk about you behind your back or send DMs to somebody else about me, and then, you know, whatever. And we've been cool as far as I know. And then I get a screenshot of a DM to somebody that, you know, you're hating on me or trying to talk shit about something that we're doing for whatever reason. And it's like, dang, why would you, like, why does that even affect you enough to have to say something, for one? And then two, now in this situation, it's like, why are 10th Planet guys the way they are? Well, it's because the way people are towards us, it seems like, you know, and you hear the old stories, and I know how it was, because I was around back before 10th Planet was cool. You know, I was in gyms where they were for sure hated on, and I was taught to hate it too.
Yeah.
So I did, until I got exposed to some of those guys, and I was like, hey, they're not really bad people. They're actually really, really nice people. They're really caring people.
It's almost like there's a parallel.
It's crazy. Like, and they should, I don't know, you should not really throw out statements about people that you don't know, I think. And then sometimes people don't realize maybe what you say on social media, how it gets seen by certain people.
I think text, people don't understand a lot of stuff like that. But, like, that was my question. I was sitting here scrolling through his website. How old is Mikey?
I think he's only like 25.
So, I mean, well, okay,
He's just
now
a
I'm
kid.
old. Now I'm old. Sitting
Yeah.
there going, well, that's a kid. Like, these kids that you're talking about, like, that have this woke culture that's, like, chasing things around and whatnot, and cancel culture. Do you think that maybe that a little bit of that mentality is wise? Like, he's from a younger generation, so he didn't understand that Gio was in go time.
I'm sure he didn't understand it in some way, because like I said, you know how everybody is before matches. You walk up and you shake hands and you're trying to be cool. It's just that you're just trying to be cool.
I don't bump knuckles in the center of the cage after we've already shook hands. And
Right.
like, I've seen too many guys.
I quit
get
doing that. I
yeah.
quit doing that about halfway through, or
Guys
a little
get
bit
cold
later
cocked.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like we do one fist bump in the middle, and then when the fight starts, the fight starts.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not being mean or
And
a
listen,
jerk.
it's a fact that if you have like friendly feelings with someone in any way, you're not going to go as hard on them. We've seen it a billion million times. Like, I'm probably going to try to beat you, but I probably wouldn't go as hard as I would against other people, maybe. You know, I
view jiu-jitsu a little differently.
I think jiu-jitsu is different, but I think that's part of what made him spaz out too, is that somebody was taking it so seriously that they didn't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've had matches where I didn't talk to guys until after for a second and didn't ever feel disrespected. I was nervous, and I felt like they were nervous. So we stayed away from each other so the other guy wouldn't know how nervous you were. And you got focused, and you were ready to kill each other. Because, like, if you've never competed in one of these big tournaments like this or one of these big shows, like, go to ADCC trials, man, and go throw your name in the hat out there and try to get through one of those brackets with these guys who are really, truly trying to be the best in the world. It's like trying to go through an Olympic trials bracket. There's going to be some guys out there that you may get a quick win over, or some guys that are just showing up there that shouldn't be there. You know, that old quote about, half of them shouldn't be there or whatever, but the cream's going to rise to the top, and they're going to get their hands on you too, So it's just the facts of the thing is, if you show up out there, then you can understand what it's like to have to be nice and be respectful, but also you're really fighting for your life, like livelihood. Yeah. Like if I can win this, then I don't have to go back to that job, or I don't have to share a house with 5 other dudes anymore. I can get an apartment on my own or something. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what that tournament win could mean for somebody. So yeah, it's not. Again, I guess just to circle it back to Gio, but to talk about myself too, though. But like, to win some of those tournaments back then meant a lot. To get to that next level was super important, and you had to go hard, because that way, if you lost, you could still be proud of yourself. Not for any, at least to me, that was the reason. It's like I had to go hard out there against these guys, and in the last ADCC trials I got, I was gonna have a match, but the guy no-showed. And then, so the first match I got was the defending West Coast Trials champion who had a bye. So it's like it didn't help at all that my guy didn't show up. It probably hindered me because I didn't get to go through a round to go to him, because I'd already planned in my head. Again, I could have fucked that up. Sorry, could have messed that up. You know how my planning goes. You've been there. But that's how it goes, though, right? The guy no-showed, and then now I have to go compete against Casey Hellenberg.
They just let your slip and slide with gasoline.
And so, here we go, know, and then he wants to win. He's the defending trials champion. He got to ADCC. So now I'm grappling an ADCC veteran, like in my first match. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is a big moment. Eddie's right there. Boogie's right there. All the other big name coaches and people are right there watching this match. Why? Because Casey's an ADCC veteran, So, like, I took it extremely serious, man. I was probably a jerk most of that day. For sure, Mandy and the kids didn't come to that tournament.
You have to go to a different place. I mean, we've talked about this, the mentality.
A lot. Yeah. And, it's like, I can be your friend, man, but if I'm your friend, it'll mess up my headspace. And that, we talked about that specifically a lot. And that's what's funny is, like,
I've got to be in a different place right now.
This is how I feed my family. You know what I mean? This is all I do. And so for some people to question certain things sometimes now, like I've sat back and I've just been nice and listened to people say things a lot of times that I disagree with or whatever, and let people have their own space. But now it's starting to just be like, man, I want to tell people just to hush. Like, you just need to really shut up sometimes. Like, and maybe I do too. And tell me though. Like, if you think I should shut up, tell me to shut up. Don't message somebody else that I should shut up. Message me and tell me that I should shut up and why. And I might agree with you. But if you're a punk and you're talking behind my back or something like that, then you get no respect on the other end of that. So just hit me up. Slide in the DMs if you got something to say. You could pull up 322 Perry Parkway.
Padded room and
we got waivers. It's actually a digital one. Mandy got it on the iPad, my boo. She hooked it up. You don't have to fill out anything on the paper anymore, really, unless she's not there, and then I probably have to give you the paper waiver. But, that's another side plot. You can pull up and get it.
We will be legally covered, is what we're saying.
Yeah, we got insurance. But no, it's it's all fun and games. But then when you start talking in a disrespectful way about people that I care about, then I don't feel like you're being a respectful person either.
So like pairing that into like the last week or whatever, and the like all the Connor stuff, and then everybody's talking about because you got eyeballs now that are not normally on all these sports, Well, then now in jiu-jitsu we have this controversy, and that's what I'm saying. I'm laughing at quote unquote calling it controversies because
It's manufactured bullcrap.
it's really It almost feels like it feels manufactured by Flow. Like they didn't.
Oh, they definitely are trying to
the
do
hype
that.
is manufactured.
Well, the thing, and that's what I'm trying to say is like I'm not even really worried about the fact of Mikey versus Gio or whatever. I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought Mikey won.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
My point. So,
I thought it was cool. I was excited for the match going in. Like I was hyped to see Mikey coming in. But then you just see the arguments of people just wanting to be disrespectful. Oh, you got beat by a guy who not even a no-gi guy. He's like, this guy's been training since he was a child. You can look at his like BJJ Heroes page. He's been winning like no-gi pans and worlds at juvenile ranks since 2011 or 2010. So he's been, don't miss me with that
don't
shit.
disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's a legit ass grappler who's one of the best in the world, and that's why Gio took it so seriously.
Right.
And if you've never been out there with another guy trying to be the best in the world, like truly trying to be the best in the world,
Levels to
then your opinion doesn't matter as much. It's that whole man in the arena quote, and everybody loves to share it. But if you've actually not been in that arena, then you just take your own advice a little bit, guys. Let's slow down and pump the brakes about this judgment that we're throwing out on people for arenas that we've never stepped foot in ourselves. I think that's the overall message that I want to share with everybody about that kind of stuff. Because you disrespect my friends, then I don't ever want to be nice to you when I see you again.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be fake like that. I'm not built that way. Like if I really feel like you feel some kind of way about somebody that I really care about, then it's hard, and there's some situations where I have some really good friends that don't get along as much anymore. And so that's a hard situation because they're two people that I care a lot about, in some of those situations. So I'm not perfect on all that. I don't have a perfect record, but I'm definitely trying to make sure that strangers, they stay in their place.
Right.
Definitely. Like good friends having their own beefs is one thing, but if you don't know someone, you shut your mouth, and I'll do the same though. Like, trust me, I don't.
You think it's the arrival of the armchair quarterback in the sport? Because like before, nobody watched the sport that didn't do it.
Well, I think it's just, yeah, probably, and then it's just the internet thing. Everybody just
the internet
to
ruins
say.
Everything.
And then again, like I said, I just think people don't realize that it's not always just like an echo chamber. Though there's some people that are out there, and then they'll see something. And it's like, oh, hey, wait a second, or maybe you think you could send something in confidence to someone, but actually they're the homie. And it's like, oh, dang.
Like talking trash on the kid on the mat and then his mom standing next to you.
Right. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Like, y'all, and everybody wants to holler about respect, but they're not being respectful. Like, you're not being respectful. Listen to me. It is not respectful to talk behind someone's back. It is respectful to go directly to that person, tell them what your problem is. You are a punk if you will not do that. Straight up. And the values you say you claim are a lie. If you won't do it, you're a liar and you're fake. Just know that. Okay? Because I do.
Hot take. Matt says he's excited about next weekend.
Oh, we're going to kill these ironclad boys next weekend. What's up? They're driving down from Birmingham to get chopped up, son.
You got to pull up.
Shing, shing. They pulling up, actually. So, see, that's what I'm talking about, though. These boys, they're going to pull up 4.5 hours away. They don't even know who they're going against. He's like, I'm just going to bring these guys that weigh this much. There's one guy that he sent me some video on. He's like, yeah, he's all right. This guy's like out here winning 3 or 4 matches in a day. It's like, oh, yeah, he's all right.
They're not bringing that man child, are they?
I hope so. We'll find Jamie.
Jamie.
Yes. How big is your man child? We got one.
Yeah.
I just gotta protect my walls.
I'm just gonna say yeah.
Just yeah. Run it. That's okay, man. Like, but seriously though, this is just for fun. We're gonna let some of our guys get together and compete against each other in some PGF styled matches, I guess, 6-minute submission only with EBI overtimes for like the matches that don't end in a submission or something like
giving
that.
your guys some experience.
Yeah, and just like against people they don't get to roll with that often because they're far enough away that it's not a convenient open mat to make, you know.
Yeah.
But they're affiliated enough with us through, you know, the 10th Planet System and Brandon that Matt and Jake both go up there a lot, and a lot of people are kind of making this little whatever this lightning bolt is.
We pitch in tents worldwide.
We just doing this thing here. You know, the Voltron also.
Release the Jamie.
So, yeah, man, like it's gonna be super fun. We're like.
So
That's
you're
the
doing
thing.
it in an in-house tournament.
An in-house,
Yeah.
tournament. It's gonna. I think I don't know. We probably won't stream it or anything like that. Just because I don't want.
It might end up on the Dream.
Somebody
Show
may
somewhere.
record some of it, but like I'm not trying to put any pressure on myself to be there because I want to just kind of enjoy it and watch everybody roll. It's been so fun to see everybody kind of leveling up at the gym. It's funny because like some of the more you have experiences, right, the more you see things out, and I've kind of just let everybody develop, you know, kind of at their own rate as far as their own, you know, physical rate that they want to work at. I still don't push anyone to go harder than they want to, but individuals along the way have started getting poked somehow, some way, or whatever. One of the famous ones is Zach's baptism by Gabe when he came through. That's super funny to me, you know, because I don't know, it's just training, but like nobody ever really went in on him like that. That was close enough to his size that it felt.
Where it wasn't like, oh, he's just bigger than me.
Yeah, it felt so
smashing me.
real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a real situation, but it wasn't. He wasn't really hurting or anything, you know. And so it's just like, but since that day, he's leveled up so much more, and then other people have since then too. And then starting to talk about this, the seriousness of people that are trying to do these matches with Ironclad or whatever is really nice. Taylor, the female Taylor that trains with us, she went over to Birmingham and got.
How'd her match go?
She got like a double gold.
I saw
she
she
won
done
weight in
well.
absolute. I think she won like 3 or 4 matches at least.
Nice. I didn't get to make it through, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to go over either, obviously, but she took double gold and she's really good.
Legit.
Yeah, she's a really good blue belt, I believe. I believe she's good. She's a really good blue belt in my mind. Either way, if that's what the official rank is or not, it's kind of weird when people cross over.
Yeah.
Because you don't wear it. So she might be like a 32 stripe blue belt or some shit. I don't know.
That like where you used to be able to tell there's like that's I had this conversation with Scaff the other day about like
Oh, that was a good podcast, by the way. Thank you guys for that. Y'all said a lot of nice things about me.
yeah, we did. There's a lot of nice things to say, but we had we were talking about the wearing the belts. Like you can't really tell like at open mat like who's like you used like in a belt system you can look over and be like, oh, that dude's got like his purple belt's like gray. Like that's not a regular
I had a
purple
lavender.
belt.
I had a very light pink lavenderish purple belt for sure. That was my longest belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like 3 purple belts actually, probably.
Is there anything that like when did that quit entering your mind when you were in a room? Like that I've gotten to the point now I don't even ask people how long they've trained. I just roll with them.
I mean, I ask guys still just now more for the protection of myself sometimes to know
as you go in.
to know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
A little
I'm
bit.
still stupid.
Well, yeah. I mean, me too. I'm not saying no. I just want to know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because that's what Scaff and I were talking about. Like, there's some places where like it's not okay to ask the upper belt. Like, well, how do you not accidentally ask the upper belt if you don't know?
I would, dude. And so the rule that I have is that it's okay for me to say no to you.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle someone asking you and you having to say no and then giving them a reason, then that's on you. Like, okay, another soapbox. Gonna pull it back out right here. All right, what's a good word to use for this? I don't want to say the word that came to my mind. The word that everybody else uses to describe themselves if they sit out rounds or if they don't train hard. It's a cat.
Weaker.
You're not that.
Yes, sir.
If you choose not to roll with specific people on specific days at specific times, for sure. You are if you always duck hard rolls every single time, then yes, that would make you that. But if you're hurt, sick, tired, third practice of the day, no, it's okay to be tired. It's all right to be legit tired and to tell somebody, hey, buddy,
Say, nah, man.
I'm okay today. My back hurts. My back hurts. That's all you got to tell them. And if they don't get it, then that's not your person, you know. He don't get to roll again next time either, you know. And he can feel however he wants to feel about that, but we're adults. And this is not like I don't know, it's not fight camp. We're not in fight camp. These guys are all paying customers. They're not, they're my clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're my students, you know, but they're not on scholarship.
What about the fight camp guy?
That's why I'm not him. That's why I'm not that guy.
But you tell him to get over it?
Oh, he's got to get over his shit.
Just
because you got to get beat up for that.
Yeah.
You got to know what that's like.
That's the whole point.
But you still got to know a certain point, though, of what's what.
When not to get hurt.
Yeah, or just when enough's enough in the same day or the same week. Because sometimes you can... I
Don't
guess
do that one more round.
I guess no. So I guess sometimes that's wrong, right? So I guess that's wrong what I just said. And if I was controlling a fighter full time, yes, we would stop in the middle of sparring if we needed to, and not finish a whole round of the whole sparring if we needed to. If I saw something that was off, because if he's not in the right percentage mentally or physically,
but you'd leave that up to you. That's not up to him.
I would we would disagree very strongly if they didn't want to listen, and I really felt like they were just hurting themselves.
Okay.
Because you know, you're just trying to prove a point at that time. They are the fighter, because I know what that is. You're just trying to prove something to people, that you're tough or whatever, and that's cool. And it's like, I give you that by default that you're in this sport, and especially for someone with experience already. That
you're already to that trust level.
You've already worked hard enough to be tired, and I know that, you know what I mean? Hey, I know you've already worked very hard this week, and you're very, very tired. Maybe you don't need to spar today, but I won't get to spar all week. It's okay. You don't need to spar every week.
It's a hard balance, though, because you're sitting there going, I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough. Yeah,
You've done too much already. That's the point. You've already done you spent all your money early in the week, and you didn't sleep enough. You didn't eat right. You did too many rounds before the week before, and you trained Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, so you didn't give yourself at least one of your days off.
Kettlebell.
Yeah, like you went for a trip and you went hiking or whatever, but it actually ended up being pretty strenuous on your legs or whatever. So now you got to come kick spot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sit down, go chill. It's longevity. If you're trying to be a professional athlete will push through certain modes of pain or whatever when the time is right. But when it's time to sit down, they sit down. You know what I mean? Then I've talked about this, I think, before, though, is like the difference in like a LeBron James, since he's the hot guy right now with the Space Jam movie out and stuff. Like they get physical therapy like every day. They have he probably has an MRI machine in his house or something. So like they know exactly what's level of what, you know what I mean? So they're constantly being worked on. They're constantly getting stuff, you know, done for them. They're not just out here like, yeah, my knee's clicking. It's kind of been clicking for about 6 years now. I don't know. I think it'll be all right. You know? And then you're out here just slamming your leg into a heavy bag, doing chin conditioning for the 15th year in a row.
Chin conditioning, bro. Body conditioning is one of the things that bothers me to watch people do that. Look, LeBron James spends $1.5 million on his body.
Bro, I believe him. If I had the money, that would be what, like, if you check the bank accounts for us, that's probably one of the most expensive things that I spend money on for sure, is going to get body work done, because otherwise I feel really, really bad.
What would you say is the best
massages?
One? That's
definitely a really good massage therapist.
Deep tissue.
So yeah, free plug to Float Robbins. They have two really great massage therapists that I've used. Peyton,
Float Robbins.
Yeah, Float Robbins. They're, you know, it's a free plug. They didn't pay me anything for this. I actually pay them. But they have like float tanks and like a sauna. But Peyton and Naomi, I've used both of them before, and they both are really dope. But I typically just stick with Peyton because I've gotten like in the routine of one person. So I would say if anybody locally here, I would check them out. Obviously, I think there's a guy in Macon, Roger Fleming, that everybody I talk to raves about. I think I used him one time in Macon several years ago, but it's all the way in Macon, so it's hard to kind of get up there and see him. But I would recommend for sure a good massage therapist. I wish I knew a physical therapist that I could see routinely, or a real like legit trainer.
There's, I know that I talked to a guy one time that was a physical therapist that was talking about doing the preemptive physical therapy. I wish I could find a place that was like about that.
Everybody's like, no,
Like-
you got to have like a doctor's recommendation.
It's like,
and all
what
this
if I
kinda
do it
stuff.
before I have to go
It's
see the
like,
doctor?
Yeah, I don't want to. And everybody's like, well, just go do yoga. And I've tried a few times, and it's just there's not one close by that's convenient. We tried to have somebody in the school teach it. We just haven't that hasn't worked for me as much. I like being coached.
Yeah,
And,
I was gonna ask,
you
like,
know,
you like having like a
I like-
yoga
I
routine,
like
or
being-
you like having somebody telling you?
I like being coached. Yeah,
There's merit to that. I get it.
yeah. I respect the hustle, for sure, and I like someone that spent time doing the thing.
And learning how to
I
do
don't,
it right.
like I can find my way, but I don't know what I'm doing, and I know now that I don't know, and it took me a long time to be the guy that could say that I don't know something or that I couldn't figure it out on my own, because you can figure it out, right? I could do a headstand, but I might be like already messing up my neck and doing it badly. So while I'm doing it, I'm just hurting myself worse somehow. It's not really, like slight
There's some really
separations.
important like details in yoga, like which way your hand is pointed could like give you a completely different reaction.
Yeah, you're actually probably doing nothing, or you may be hurting yourself because you're not turning
just
yourself
because
the
you're
right
twisted
way.
just wrong.
Yeah, you're opening it. So that's one of the things I argue with you about sometimes in class. It's like
I just do weird
I
stretches.
know. It's like, but you're doing the other thing too. It's like your lower
I
body's
like to multitask.
you're
and
doing
twist
whatever you
myself
want with
up.
your lower body, and then your upper body's doing the stuff that everybody else is doing, and so it's just like,
Just loosening up my lower
it's like,
body.
what is this? Zach doing his arm circles like this today. I was like, man, those live rounds on Monday got y'all pretty hard.
Yeah.
He's all short armed and stuff. Dude, that was fun though. Like, I like those nights. I miss those in San Diego. Those were some of the best nights ever.
Like
live
live
drill
round.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing we do here is what we did there. Is an hour though, and then 30 minutes of rolling after. So we haven't built everybody up to that hard 30 of rolling every night, but it's coming. They're getting there.
I did an hour of 10-minute rolls the other day.
Yeah.
Those 10 minutes hit differently, bro.
It's pacing for sure,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, somebody will drown you,
Yeah.
and then it's a long time.
What's your favorite time? Do you like time limit? No time limit, or do you like a certain time?
So it depends. Yeah, if there's a bunch of people, I like 5 or 6 minute rounds.
Yeah.
If there's one person that I'm training with, just turn it off and
Turn
let's
the
just
clock
roll.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll just go.
So
Until we just
both
say
of
that's
us is,
enough.
"Ah, I'm
Yeah,
tired." Yeah.
Or you need a water break real quick,
That's
and then we'll
fun.
come back in or whatever.
that's
stuff
probably
like
one of my
that.
favorite ways to train.
Yeah. If there's a few people, then maybe like an 8 or 10 minute round's fun. But just that way, I like the different looks and breaking it up. But one long round with one person is better because I would get tired of stopping and starting with the same person like 5 minutes
Over
at a
and over.
time.
Yeah. Sitting there just staring at each other for 30
Yeah.
seconds.
So just
Yeah.
do it. Just kill me now,
Yeah.
bitch. Sorry. Feisty.
That got aggressive.
These last couple weeks have been tough on me. Like, y'all dragging me back into stuff that I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be mean to people. I want to be nice to everybody, but y'all being mean to my friends. So I got to be mean back,
So end all be all, what's your take on that whole situation? It's just
It's silly.
Don't be mean to my
It's
friend.
silly. Yeah, that whole thing is none of anybody else's concern. And it definitely, Mikey can have his opinion because he's the person who felt slighted or whatever. But for anybody that doesn't think Gio is a black belt and doesn't deserve to be a black belt, you're an idiot. Flat out, you're an idiot. That guy's done so much for some people. You have no clue how many people he's helped and what he's done. And just shut up. Like, seriously, you make yourself.
Yeah, you're attacking character over the sport aspect too.
Yeah, and
we're
you're
not
making-
even talking about like what he
He
does.
didn't
in his
even
spare
do
time. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't slap him, spit on him, curse at him.
Call it, like,
Nothing. He
yeah,
didn't talk
didn't go
about
after
his mama.
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Nothing. He just said that he said we could have pizza after the match.
He
He don't like pizza, I
He doesn't
guess.
eat pizza.
Sorry, man. Thought you would like pizza. I thought it was Italian. It sounds like an Italian name.
I don't know.
It's not? I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't assume things. But either way, yeah, that's my take, man. Just be nice to people, dude. Just be nice. And if you're out there competing, obviously that's different. You're not always going to be able to be just nice. But
I mean, do you have a problem with guys biting that type, like being the bad guy or being the heel?
No,
like if
no,
that's what you
it's not-
choose to do, but no, that's what you're getting.
Yeah, and as long as you're not really being disrespectful, like Elijah in a way. Some of the stuff he says crosses the line,
Yeah,
but it's because of certain people, I think, that engaged a certain way with him, and he feels like, yeah, I am being disrespectful with you.
yeah, on purpose.
Right, I'm purposefully, yes, this is the choice.
He stated,
But
yeah.
we're
I think I know
laughing.
which one you're talking about. but
We're
yeah.
talking and we're laughing when we're talking trash to each other. You know what I mean? It's not
It's
hateful.
a mutual
Yeah,
respect,
it's like
yeah.
right, exactly, because he
So
knows
there's flavors.
he
of
knows that I'll make the walk against him. He knows that I'll go out there and he'll hook me in 9 seconds, but he knows that he would have to at least be able to do that again. You know, and I know that he could do that, and I knew that the whole time that he could probably beat me. So even though I was talking trash, I was doing it friendly. Like I said, it's like I never
Yeah.
really like was trying to hurt the kid, like mentally or emotionally or anything like that.
I'm not
'Cause
going to talk about your family.
I didn't think
or-
it was going to do anything. Right, exactly. I was just kind of booing him because he kept calling us the bad guy, so I kept going like the bad at jiu-jitsu guy or something like that. You know, just to kind of, I don't know, break through that, facade a little bit. But I'm
So
like,
if it's for the show, like that type stuff. But I mean, like, so there's a lot of
There's-
people saying that
there's
like
shtick.
Connor. They're saying that like
but
Connor
that's too
crossed the
far.
line.
That's way too far.
Yeah.
Like early Connor, kind of where he stole the belt and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's still like kind of, I don't know, but like
Starts
that's
throwing
still,
stuff through windows.
That's way too
Yeah,
far.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Connor lost it. That's when I jumped off. You endangered, got glass in the eye of other fighters who had nothing to do with it. Cost people their paydays. Yeah, that was too much. That's the thing. Like, I grew up on pro wrestling. That's the reason I do this. Like,
just to get a hot
it's
take.
good.
Yeah,
Or just no, for pro wrestling is the reason that I do like grappling and fighting and stuff like that, because it's just what I loved when I was little. I always said I was going to grow up to do it. Pro wrestling.
right. But you came up on the pro wrestling hot take.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, the promos. Yeah, just the little snippets of guys full of cocaine and steroids, just trash talking each other, and then
The
they
80s
go
were a
off
wild
behind
time.
then they'll go off and ride 8 hours through the night with each other, drinking beer to the next town and stuff.
do that 280 more times.
Yeah. But they couldn't be seen together, and it's just funny. Certain people couldn't be seen together, because that's an act, though. That's a little bit different thing than not wanting to be.
Well, and they're not
overtly-
actually physically getting.
They're not hurting each other
Hurt.
on purpose.
Yeah.
like it's accidental hurt. But like jiu-jitsu is like, okay, I'm gonna break your arm unless you submit, or I'm gonna choke you to sleep unless you submit. Like. And I guess in professional wrestling, if you don't follow the script, then they can, go live.
That's where it
shoot
loses
on
me.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still not the same though. Like the score, it's like even people when they talk about like football or anything like that, understanding like winning and losing. It's like no. When you lose, and even jiu-jitsu is not even necessarily at the same level as MMA. Of like
No.
when you lose,
Fighting's way worse.
you just lost. Like you just got beat up in front of
Jiu-jitsu hurts
thousands of
pretty bad,
people.
though,
Jiu-jitsu hits the same nerve, but it's
If
not.
you haven't fought and stuff, then probably not as bad. But if you do fight, then yeah, it feels worse. Obviously, if you didn't fight, you wouldn't know what it feels like.
Right. That would be your bottom.
So shut up. I guess that's what I'm saying. If you don't know how bad it hurts, if you don't know what they got to lose, then what do you got to say about it? And I guess that's everything everywhere, right?
Right.
If you don't, that's like that viral video I found of the dude. I love that. He's like, you got any advice for people to get out of the hood? He's like, he's like, no, I don't know. I didn't grow up there. He's like, but I'm down with some Mike Jones. You know what I mean?
Just grabs the
Like,
mic.
I can't help you. I have no advice to help you out in that situation, but I'm cool. Nah, but yeah, man, just chill. Everybody needs to chill. Gi versus no gi is a silly argument. It's not gi versus no gi. If you like the gi, that's cool.
It's kind of like the old snowboarder movies where like the snowboarders versus the skiers.
Is that a thing?
You don't remember those?
Nah.
It was like a type of movies.
Was it?
Yeah. There's like the snowboarders who are like little, or the inline skaters versus the skateboarders. Man, it must have been my age
I grew up on
group.
dirt roads, bro. In the South, by cornfields and hayfields. Talking about snowboarding and skiing.
You would have watched it at my house.
That was not my experience.
Any hoozle. Moving on. I do not have an experience in that, but I do love Mike Jones.
Fofos, I'm tipping. No, but for real, I am. What time is that? Are we still talking shit?
We're
Running up to the end of it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey,
What do we got coming up?
this chicken. I just want to show it again.
That's not a chicken. That's a rooster.
A rooster is a chicken. Are you serious? Bro, chickens. It's like chickens. There's roosters and hens. Roosters and hens are chickens.
Right. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Male, female. Males are roosters. Females could be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stay here for me for your next Reading Rainbow tip of the week. It's fundamental. You know what I'm talking about? Much love, everybody. Matt Viper, Sheath Underwear, the Musgrove Trial Firm, Peach Podcast Syndicate, Parkway Automotive Studios, Isaac.
Mid-South Classic.
Mid-South Classic, July 31st. Starts at 1 p.m. We need 2 guys, 185 and less. I don't care what your rank is. Let's run it. $100. Winner gets 1,000. Need 1 guy at 155, blue belt. I don't care. You can be a white belt, I guess. Just be 155 or less. Come on. Let's go. $100 gets you a chance at 1,000. I'm not taking any of it. Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.